Hey everybody, the Cynic25 here, bringing you another deck profile, and this time we're profiling Evol. So yeah, this is a deck I've recently been getting into, and it's a lot of fun. It's really heavily combo-based. So this is pretty much the definition of a combo-based deck, because, I mean, the whole, engine of the deck revolves around the Evol tiles, getting out the Evol Stars, which in turn get out your, Evol Stars. So, yeah, it's a really heavy combo-based deck, but it's a lot of fun. It definitely does have some consistency issues, which is why I run a lot of consistency cards. And between the Evil Diversity, Pot of Duality, and just your main engine, it somewhat remedies the inconsistency that the deck has that comes along with a combo-based deck. But nevertheless, let's get straight into the deck profile, and as well as each specific individual card. I'll give you guys a rundown on why I chose it. So, I'm running one Darwinos here. This is actually a personal tech of mine. I know not all Evo players run Darwinos, but I think it adds a lot of color to the deck, and it also opens up your rank 5 plays between like Shark Fortress, Volcasaurus, and Tyr's Keeper Genesis, which gives the deck a lot more power, because one drawback that the deck really has is that its rank 4 pool isn't really that threatening in terms of actual power. Because Lagi and Dolka have like 2400 and 2300 attack apiece, and it's good, but it's not great. So the deck has some trouble getting over big monsters, and being able to make some rank 5s like Volcasaurus can help remedy that a little bit. It's also nice when I don't have another Evil Star in my hand and I activate at Westlow. Sometimes I just special summon Darwinos, make Westlow a 5, and then just go into a 5 from there. Because if I didn't have Darwinos in the deck and I would have just brought out Evil Star, then I wouldn't have had anything to pair with it. Unless, of course, I use Volcano and had something in the grave. But if I don't have anything in the grave, then I would just have like a dead Westlaw on the field with an Evil Star and nothing to pair it with. So Darwinos just opens up more options for the deck and just, in my opinion, makes the deck more colorful. But going into the main Evil Star engine, I'm only running 2 of all the main Evil Stars. Now, I know some people are running either 3 of Serato and 3 of Volcano, but I feel like 2 apiece gets the job done, because you really don't want to be drawing too many of these, because there's not much you really can do when you draw them. They're just normal beaters. This deck in many ways kind of reminds me of Glad Beasts, in that you don't really want to draw too many of them, and they only really get their special effects when they're special summoned by another one. Evil Stars are like the exact same way. Like, you want these to be in your deck so that Westlow or YuGiOh can get them out, and you get their cool effects, which then you can XZ into up to the dragons. But just running 2 apiece. I mean, Serato's like the biggest beater here. Like, it's okay to draw Serato every once in a while because he at least has decent attack. But Diplo and Volcano just aren't really cutting it. So you really don't want to be drawing too many of these, and it's the main reason why I kept them both at 2 apiece. I am running for the Evil tiles 3 Westlow and 3 YuGiOh, which I think is pretty standard in most Evo decks. Westlow is really the little LeBron James of this deck. And he opens up all your plays, he gets things going, you plus off of him like crazy. He reminds me a lot of Armor from YuGiOh, in that you set him, and then you get the flip, and then you plus off of it. Obviously, he can't flip himself face down like Armor can, but the fact that he special summons directly to the field, and then the effect of the Evil Star triggers, is very welcome. So he's really great. He also works pretty well with Book of Moon. The YuGiOh, though, is really, I guess, the main offensive engine of this deck. You want to be pairing the YuGiOh with anything that contributed, like Evo Force or Enemy Controller, and even like Darwinos. Like, there's been times where I've had YuGiOh in the field and I've literally tributed it with Darwinos. So it's just another added utility for him. But yeah, YuGiOh is great. Like, if you open up Evo Force and YuGiOh, like, you basically have a free Lagi or Dolka on the field. So that's really great. And if your opponent has set back row, you just get out 2 Diplo and you blow up their back row, go straight into Lagi or Dolka, and you're sitting pretty. So yeah, YuGiOh is just great. You want to be running this at 3, because it's just great. You plus all of it like crazy. It thins your deck and opens up your plays. So like I said, like 3 Evil Force, this is mainly here for YuGiOh, but there are occasions where you will be using this with Westlow. If it's just sitting dead on the field, you can just get rid of it and exchange it for an Evil Star and then get the effect, so that's nice. But otherwise, this is mainly here for YuGiOh. 1 Dark Hole, 3 Evil Diversity for the consistency, as well as 3 Pot of Duality for the consistency. I mean, like I said before, this is a very combo-based deck, and it requires specific pieces. Your Evil tiles get out the Evil Swords, which in turn get out the big dragons. So if you don't have the right combo pieces, then the deck's engine isn't working. So you want to be running a lot of cards that help you get to the right combo pieces so that you can eventually get your plays off. 2 MST just for back row, 1 Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Lance, which is just a really great card in general. I mean, if you guys see my other deck profiles, Forbidden Lance is basically a staple in most of my decks, but it also has some special utility here, because, like I said before, one of this deck's main problems is it has trouble getting over big monsters, and being able to lower your opponent's monster's attack is just really helpful. You want to have cards like that that can help you get around those big monsters, because there'll be times where your opponent won't have to use a monster effect. Well, Dolka can't stop it. They just summon a big monster and holy crap, you're in trouble. So you want to have things that can help you get through battle, which is also, just to jump ahead here, why I actually run 3 D Prison, because D Prison helps you with those big monsters. You know, if your opponent has a big monster on the field, they just run over Lagia and Dolka, and then you're in big trouble. So that's why I think battle traps in this deck in particular work pretty well. But just ending the spells here with 2 enemy controller. Again, this is mainly here for YuGiOh, it's tribute fodder. But it's also just handy in general. It's nice to be able to just change one of your opponent's monsters to defense mode. And I guess going on the same theme of having trouble getting over big monsters, usually monsters with big attack usually have pretty poor defense. So if you don't have YuGiOh or anything meaningful to tribute, you could just change their monster to defense mode and just get around it from there. So just more added utility. Just the 1 bottomless, the 1 torrential, like I mentioned before, the 3D prison for battle, big monsters. The other staples like Compulse and Saw Morning. But this is really, in my opinion, the main card here that really defines the new support that Evo's got in Primal Origins, which is Evo Singularity. And this is basically a 1-card Lagia, Dolka, or even Solda, which is really cool. You basically just flip this thing over, and if you have an Evil tile and an Evil Star in your grave, you target them and attach these to your new XZ. So it's literally a 1-card Lagia, Dolka, or Solda, and it's just absolutely incredible. I guess the main downsides of this is you have to set it first, so your opponent does have a chance to MST it. And also, if you don't have an Evil tile and an Evil Star in your grave, then you also can't activate it. So you want to be getting your grave set up as quickly as possible. And sometimes that can be an issue occasionally, but if you have like YuGiOh and you just Evo Force it, you're already set up. If you have Westlow and you get it flipped, you're already set up basically. I've considered SOO-kus, whatever, which also really helps you set up your grave, but it wasn't worth it to me. It had too low attack, and I didn't get that much utility from it. So yeah, this is the main deck. Going into the extra deck, I'm running 1 Gaia Charger to overlay with Volcasaurus. You can also overlay on top of Solda and anything else. It's a 5 or a 6. So Gaia Charger's nice. Solda, this only really comes out with Evo Singularity, because I don't really have any 6s to overlay on top of. But in terms of the 5s, I'm running Tyrus, Volcasaurus, and Shark Fortress just for the main offensive engine here. Whereas for the 4s, the main cards you're bringing out are Lagia and Dolka, which is pretty much your stun aspect of the deck. And you're going to be going into Lagia and Dolka most often. Like, out of this entire extra deck, it's mainly just Lagia and Dolka. So they're really great cards. I mean, Lagia is basically a Solemn Judgment, and Dolka is basically a double effect stun. Like, it's basically double effect Veiler, but it also works on effects that happen in your opponent's hand or their grave, so it just has even more utility. But other than that, just the 103, the 101, Cowboy, and Zen mains for the random situations where I have 2 less low on the field. So yeah, this is the extra deck. This is obviously not a real side deck. These are just other cards I've considered. I was running actually 3 Phoenix Chain just for the added stun, but I felt like Dolka pretty much did that for me, and I really, honestly, was getting tired of getting run over by big monsters, so that's why I added the battle traps here. Nothing else here is really that much worth mentioning. Blaster, I think I might try to fit back into the deck. He worked pretty well. I just like Darwinos a little better because I get him out more. He's searchable. I actually had Odonto in the deck for the longest time. So what this card does is when it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 Evil Star from your hand. And because this is an Evil tile monster, the Evil Star that you special summon from the hand gets its effect, which is nice. But the only problem is this card is a level 2, so there's nothing you can do with it. Like, literally, more often than not, this thing just sat on the field and waited to die. Like, it just was not that useful for me. Occasionally, it'd be nice to Evil Force it and bring out another Evil Star, but it was too situational. And honestly, the effects of the Evil Stars, although they're good, they're not absolutely amazing. Like, Serato's effect is nice to be able to get more Evil tiles. Diplo's effect is nice to pop spells and traps, but it's nothing like game-breaking. It's just good. And honestly, having this in here just to potentially Evo Force off of it just wasn't worth it enough for me. But yeah, this is Evil Stars. It's, again, like I said, this is the definition of a combo-based deck. I enjoy it a lot. And if there's any reason to play it this format, it's that it's also extremely budget. So you could probably pick this deck up for like $50. But yeah, definitely, I'm probably going to be uploading some videos shortly of Evol, so if you're interested in seeing this deck in action, let me know, and I will get some videos up. So again, this is Cynic25 here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.